Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and we have a new movie review. In this video, buckle up, we have a lot to talk about. We are diving into James Cameron's new film. Yeah, we're talking about Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, I don't often call movies waste of time, and I'm not going to completely say The Way of Water is exactly that. But by the end of the movie, I said, wow, what a new great skin that they put on the first Avatar movie. I can't wait for the Avatar 2. This movie felt like a rehash of the first one. There was a lot of similar beats happening. There's a lot of returning characters, and I was just like, what are we doing? I felt like we did not push the story forward enough in this. The story of Avatar is not a complex plot. It's not a lot going on, but there's inspirations there. I see what they're trying to do. This movie still has very interesting themes. There is something they're trying to say here. This is a blockbuster that has a message, that has a bit of a point of view. I would say some of the action, some of the deaths, those have weight to them. Points all around for that. But I kept going, but why? Like, other than trying to show off a new environment in the world of Pandora, this movie offered me nothing. There was very, very thin characters. Like, yeah, there's some development, but because they were so bland in the first movie that any upward progression is something here, there's a lot of questionable decisions made by some pretty questionable characters. If y'all hated Corey from Halloween Ends, wait till you meet Jungle Boy in this movie, because goodness gracious, that is a waste of character who does absolutely nothing with a lot that he's given. Oh my goodness, this movie really frustrated me because, again, on one side, technical masterpiece. The 3D looks great. The environments, I actually don't really like Pandora, the forest vibes in the first film. So with this one, I really liked the aquatic setting. The creature designs were far superior in this one. I really liked the creature character designs here. I actually liked the new Avatar, the new Na'vi people, the more water-based ones, and their little bit of differences in their bodies. I liked elements like that. There was a lot of great art here, like I said, the technical stuff, the camera work, the visual effects, all of that. Round of applause. That part of the movie is truly like a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10. You get to the characters, the plot, the story, the pacing, the motivations, the drive, the themes, and it's all either the same stuff Cameron's always been talking about. There's a lot of environmentalism here. There's a lot of weird relationship stuff, and there's a lot of teen drama. If you wanted like the Jaws 2 of Avatar movies, that's what this reminds me of. It's just like, well, look at the young cast, now the parents have to go help them, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And maybe this would help if Jake was actually a tolerable character, but goodness, one of those bland lead characters. This is the only slight spoiler I will give, but I kept wanting him to die the whole movie because I'm like, can I at least get like Neytiri here getting a fuller story? Because Zoe, she's great. She has emotional moments. She carries a very big emotional weight of this film. But goodness, she's back, thrown to the back so we can get more Jake and his revenge plot with Colonel Miles. And I'm like, this is what we've spent 13 years crafting? Of almost retread of the first film. Literally, if the first film was Fortnite, they threw a new skin on it, a new update, and said, wow, guys, hope you like the game. And I'm like, it's still fun. Yeah, still well made, but I need more. Give me more. This did not give me that. More than 10 years after the events of the previous film, the Sully family, yes, Jake and Neytiri have started a whole family. There's a lot of kids. They even have like an adopted human kid who's lived in Pandora named Spider. Cannot stand him. He's the character I was talking about. But yeah, so the Sully family is here, but they're realizing that they need to leave their home, their life in the forest, because an old threat is back in a new form, and it's coming to kill them. It's a straight up revenge movie. That's something I do enjoy about the plot of this. I don't think there's much. It's truly like, let's run away from him, build our family here, kind of go through a lot of the stuff we learned in the first movie, but just like, now we're the fish out of water because it's us as the Na'vi going to this new Na'vi group. Like, oh, I get it. But I will say the revenge angle was at least something. I was enjoying that. I was like, oh, this isn't about unobtainium. There is a slight background story because this definitely feels like the second movie in a long trilogy. That's the number one complaint I have. This is definitely building towards more movies, but you see in the background that Earth is destroyed and they're basically trying to start making Pandora ready for us to fully invade. That's an interesting background story, but that's not the plot of this movie. It's the revenge plot. So I'm thinking like, oh wow, this like terraforming that needs to be done is in the background, and I'm starting to think that, and I'm like, ooh, okay, cool. I don't know if I'm invested in the third movie to watch it. So that's what I'm getting frustrated at. There's also a lot of mysterious elements. Maybe certain characters have a weird backstory. Are there certain characters connected to the god, the earth of Pandora, you know, the elements of it? But we don't really get explanations because we're going to have, of course, that to be explained in the 85 sequels plan. This is what I'm talking about. Like, there's elements here that like, oh, cool, revenge plot. But then they introduce stuff in the background that I'm like, well, that's a far more interesting movie. Let's go back there. Oh, no, we just have to see Stephen Lang's character, but now in a blue dude. Girl, what is this movie? What is the plot? What is going on? This is similar to a lot of issues people have with the first film, but spoiler alert, I just saw the first film like 2 days ago. I didn't think it was that bad. I liked the wow, like the outsider comes into the native community, the indigenous community, finds out they're not savages and falls in love with the community. I think that's a pretty basic story. Everyone's like, it's Pocahontas or Dances with Wolves, and I'm like, okay, that's a basic ass story. Everyone's seen it, but I thought it's done well here. In the first entry. Here, it's just like a lot of, again, rehashing a lot of stuff. Cameron decided to not steal from other movies. Let's just steal from himself, which I guess if you're a master of filmmaking like him, I guess it works. Didn't work for me. There's a lot more about this movie I could rant about. I could have a whole nother 20-minute video talking about the frames per second that made this look like a video game. And I'm talking maybe late PlayStation 2, early PS3 video games at times. Just the motion smoothness. It just felt so jarring when it would take me out of it. I kept waiting for me to have to like mash X like a cutscene because I'm like, let's get through the scene. Oh yeah, I'm actually just watching a movie. Those things. Sometimes I felt the score was a bit in the background. I thought a lot of the times the visual effects were stunning, but I would kind of rely on that in the scene because the acting, unless your name is Saldana, what was the acting in this movie? Like, Sigourney Weaver offered me nothing in her voice department. Kate Winslet, I didn't even know it was Kate Winslet because her character is interesting. Yeah, the Kate Winslet character, I don't want to get into too much more spoilers, but then Jake Sully, why is this man still a lead actor in a film? Sam Worthington has not done a damn thing since the first Avatar movie. Yeah, sure, he was in Hacksaw Ridge and a bunch of like straight-to-DVD action movies, but he cannot carry a film. This was asking this man once again to carry a film, somehow even more this time, because he has the emotional weight. He has a lot of the heavier lifting to do, and that is not what you need this man to do. I am sorry, but there's a reason we don't see this dude in a lot of movies, because not just because he's filming a lot of Avatar movies, no, because he's not that great. And James Cameron decided to double down on all the actors from the first film, on the story, and I'm just like, I would have moved on. Like, and I'm not saying kill off these characters, but much like we see in like the Harry Potter universe or Star Wars, I'm almost done with the central characters. There's a whole world I want to see. Show me some new Na'vi. Show me some new lands. Show me new people. Because this story is getting stale real quick. Wow, my review for Avatar: The Way of Water was way more negative than I expected. I honestly expected to have no emotions about it. I expected to be a beautiful movie with a fairly decent story that I would be like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. And it would probably get a lot of technical awards at the Oscars. Fine. But honestly, this movie frustrated me. There was potential left on the table. This is obviously a sequel to a long franchise, and it feels like it. It feels like the middle movie already, and I did not expect that from Cameron. But oh boy, what did you guys think of this movie? What do you think of this review? Share your feelings down in the comments below. Are you excited for Avatar: The Way of Water? Do you want to see Avatar 3 next year? What are your thoughts? Let me know all of them. Subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week. And give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright everyone, let's talk about Avatar and all these movies down here, right down below.